I think that Donald Trump has been the most open president in my lifetime.
Is that a good thing?
For me, it is.
But for the country, the hour and a half long sessions in the Oval Office, the whipsaws, the flailing, the contradictions all the time, is that a good thing?
I think it's great. He sits there and he takes questions from people he knows don't like him, and he answers the question. Now, you don't like the answer? Fine.
Okay.
But at least he's given the opportunity to the American people to hear what he has to say. Take it or leave it.
They gamed the system. They changed it.
And who do you see on the horizon for 2028 in the Democratic primary?
Right now?
Yeah.
Bernie and AOC.
Really hard to defend.
Yes, recently AIC is trending on social media for reasons we all know. This lady want to run for president and it is lovable to a lot of people. I saw a video today where a group of people stormed into her town hall. What happened next is unbelievable. I'm going to show you exactly what happened. Maher and MCCARTHY sat down in an interview today. They talked about this. It is important we take an exclusive look into all this. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. It will do you no harm if you share the video. For some time now, I'm not reporting on certain topics for reasons I'm going to explain at the end of this clip.
Of course, I mean, we should never take impeachment off the table. We should never take where we see law breaking, we should never take accountability off the table. And I don't think that we should be, promising anything the way that Trump tries to promise certain, locking up his political enemies. But I do believe that our legal processes exist for a reason. Impeachment exists for a reason, and it should absolutely be on the table. It should be on the table for every president. Every president should know that if you break the law, you could be prone to removal from office.
But should you pursue it? Should you pursue impeachment?
Should it be pursued?
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that there is plenty of law breaking that should be examined and looked at. But the question is what articles, what would be filed, etc. But I voted for and supported impeachment in Trump's first term because he illegally withheld funds from Ukraine, and he also incited a terrorist attack right here, right behind us. And so, yeah, I think that those are things that I felt that those were grounds for impeachment, and I think it was also grounds for removal. But once again, I also don't think that impeachment is something that is used explicitly as a political attack. There must be grounds, and there very well may be, especially in the next year or two.
This is how it has been. AIC discovered the downside of the squad brand she helped create. AIC could not even finish one PowerPoint slide before getting a taste of her own protest medicine. Turns out being progressive isn't progressive enough anymore. Town hall protesters stormed in and things didn't go well as planned. When I look at the video, I had to laugh because these are people promoting this every single day. We have seen what they have done to Elon Musk Teslas. It happening. Now she is getting this. I was impressed. At a certain point, AIC is trending on social media like this is the next Democrat presidential candidate. Though some top Democrats are against it, Maher had a segment with Kevin McCarthy. They talked on it.
Good. I'm having a great time. Until I start to hear about what's happening in the United States. And it's so overwhelming. And when are people going to start to realize how much he is in a cognitive decline? How he can't form coherent thoughts or sentences. He had a speech the other day and he couldn't say the word anonymous. He was like, it was a something is very off with him. And, there's a 25th Amendment, or isn't that what it is? When you can say our president is not with it enough anymore to be the leader of the free world. And aren't we there? Aren't we there? And the delusion is deep with his followers, I have to say. I don't quite understand it. This, rich man who is desecrating all that we hold sacred in the United States of America. And these people are still cheering for him and, writing posts about, Terry Moran is bad and Trump owned him. Did you watch that interview? Trump did not own him. Trump was a petty bully on a child playground. I mean, come on, everybody, get together. Willful blindness has to end. And pray for us, because we're going to need it. Hold, please. Clay is very happy, doing great in school, and she has some friends, and that's lovely. And this boy, Alex, who she met at the autism fair in town, is going to come over on Monday. It's a bank holiday. There are many bank holidays here, and it's glorious because all of a sudden you have a 3-day weekend, And I'm not sure that somebody told me they added bank holidays during COVID because people were so distressed and depressed, and I can relate to that, boy. I'm going to make a little video here on TikTok about what I looked like in 2020 in the midst of COVID and how depressed I was. And you can see it physically in my face and my eyes. And I look at it now and I'm like, whoa, because when you're in it, you don't always see it, right, people? When you're in it, the deep, dark hole of depression, you don't always see it, and you forget that you've been there before and you've found your way out, and you will again. And you will again. All right, folks of the TikTok, you don't stop. I miss you. I hope you're well. Take care of yourself. And TikTok, you don't stop.
Yes, this lady suffered with TDS for a very long time, and she took a decision to flee the United States. I'm actually in shock to realize the TDS still in her. She is not yet okay. This is what she is doing. She took a decision not to watch the news again because of Trump. I'm shocked that she actually followed him through to know this until claiming Trump is not physically fit. Before this lady started hating on Trump, she was okay. Immediately she started doing this, things changed. Look at her look. She's not okay.
They gamed the system. They changed it.
And who do you see on the horizon for 2028 in the Democratic primary?
Right now?
Yeah.
Bernie and AOC.
No.
They got the biggest crowds.
That doesn't matter.
It won't crowds.
That doesn't matter.
It won't sustain itself, but right now they have no leader. Okay? But this is the thing the Republican Party has to understand, too. Both parties lost in the last election. Trump won, okay? And I don't know if that's going to transfer. We should have won 4 more seats in the Senate. If you looked at the last 70 races for the Senate, 69 follow exactly the way
I think it's Moore versus Youngkin. That's where I see it.
Youngkin would be.
Youngkin
it's
is
going to go back to
adjacent, and then Vance and Jr. will fight it out for that crowd.
You're AOC and Bernie, and who's at the top of the ticket?
They're going to lead right now.
Who's at the top of that ticket, Kevin? Because if it's not Bernie, he's going to be vice president and wait his turn.
No, it would be. Bernie's been running each time. I'm just saying who's in the lead right now. I don't think that's how it ends up.
But big crowds don't necessarily mean who's the right candidate. When I started...
No, but it drives where the ideas are going to go. It's going to drive the money for a while.
It doesn't make him the winner.
It doesn't make him the winner. You'll have to wait years out, and then you'll start seeing these governors that start showing solutions. You also have to know, what is the issue going to be? Are we going to have a foreign policy issue? Are we going to have an economic issue? And who's been the best in leading in that? But right now, for the Democrats, who's going to lead for the next 2 years, the money's going to... AOC outraised everybody in the House.
And it's all small dollars.
It's all small dollars.
Yeah.
And this is exactly where Trump was, when no one gave him a chance at 17. He outraised everybody else. So that's where the...
Yes, this argument went on, and B was extremely even shocked to realize that this was going on. AIC is there and raising a lot of mummies, doing like she's even doing campaigns. For a very long time, Democrats didn't see this. They are just watching to see. According to my observations, B1 Gavin Newsom to run. So seeing someone like AIC, the guy is shocked. I don't know the outcome. Thank you guys for always being there, sharing out my videos. Please don't stop to support me. I appreciate you for always sharing my videos, tuning in when you see my notifications. And like I said, I'm struggling to improve how I speak. For people who don't understand me, please bear with me.
Being black shouldn't mean getting held to a different standard for better or for worse. We can't keep doing this thing where black people are always 100% victims and 0% responsible. When he had every chance to walk away.
In their amplification.
This is not going to end. Right is right and wrong is wrong. All good.
If you see any clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
What if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense because kids in here and resolve this issue. It's called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you look at the facts.
Because she's fearful of what might happen to her.
Followers for anything, and then the
Registration Act is
talking about this man kill.
My summary of the first 100 days is that
if film and TV productions continue to
first term, and you will be very.
Somebody has to say it, so let me be crystal clear.